I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind worked backwards just for a minute, I'd hold on to you before the memory's gone. I remember you.
What's up, guys? So today I'm doing a first impression review demo on the new Lara Violet Voss palette. Lara is an awesome YouTuber who has teamed up with Violet Voss and created this limited edition palette. It already kind of released, so I'm a little late. I did get it on the pre-sale, but I had so many different videos to film before this one, so I'm sorry about the delay. She did just announce on her Snapchat that she is re-releasing this palette, and I will leave all the information in the description box, so hopefully you can get a hold of it if that's something that you would like to do. But anywho, she did create this beautiful palette, and let me kind of just show you the inside. So you have a nice selection of kind of mattes and shimmer, which is awesome, and they're not just shimmers, they're really metallic, but you do have some beautiful neutrals that you can work into any makeup look, and then you have some pops of color and really bold metallic shades that are just a statement. So I created kind of a halo eye today. I really just wanted to use as many as the shadows that I could. I will come back with a full review on the Violet Voss palettes, because I do have another one. I did buy the Holy Grail palette. So I'm going to do my first impression on this one, and then I'm going to come back with a full review on the Holy Grail palette to really let you guys know what I think about the Violet Voss shadows. I did hear some awesome reviews on these palettes, and then I did hear some negative reviews. So I really want to dig deep and do my research before I come back and tell you guys if I think this is something that you guys should purchase or not. I've been dying to try this palette, so if you want to see what I think about it, please continue watching, and yeah. So I'm starting with eyes today, and I'm obviously using the Violet Voss Lara palette. Look how gorgeous this is. I love the variations of shades. And like always, I'm going to prime my eyelids with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I always prime my eyelids for every single look, so this will be the best comparison I have to be able to test these shadows accurately. And I just like to kind of put that on the lids with a brush and then tap it in with a beauty sponge. Next up, I'm taking this basic shade, and I love that they included a matte kind of flesh tone or lighter tone shade. I always set my eyeshadow base with this, so I love that they included this in the palette. It's very convenient. And now I'm taking Priss Pot as my transition shade, and I'm working this in the upper crease area with a fluffy Morphe brush. I will list it below. I did notice that this shade is not overly pigmented, so I did build it up. Next, I'm taking Mama Bird on a MAC 217, and I'm working this straight into the crease area. I'm concentrating it on the outer corner and then on the inner corner, and then I'm going to work this into a rounded shape and connect those outer and inner corners. I did notice that this shade had to be built up as well. The texture of these shadows are much different than, say, a Anastasia, a Makeup Geek, or a Lorac, but I don't think they're bad. Now I'm taking Raga Muffin on a dense packing brush just to darken up the inner and outer corners. And I'm blending that up to meet my crease shade with a tiny bit of that Mama Bird shade on my 217. And since I have hooded lids, I always use the MAC Prep and Prime 24-hour extended eye base on my lid before I pack on metallic shadows. So I go ahead and put it on my eyelid, and while it's still tacky, I'm taking Fleeky, which is a super light, almost yellow gold metallic shade, and I'm tapping this on the lid with a flat concealer brush. And I was not using a setting spray quite yet, and then I'm using Hissy Fit, and I'm putting this basically in the outer third of the lid, so not quite on the outer corner, but next to the Fleeky shade, and doing that on the inner and outer third. Now I'm taking Biddy, and this is going to be the darkest shade on the lid, and we're working this on the outer corners of the lid. So not the crease, but on the outer corners of the lid. And I love the texture of these metallic shadows. They are very pigmented. I did not add any setting spray to my brush quite yet. And then I did wet my brush with a setting spray and just tapped on a little bit more Fleeky in the center, and then I flipped my brush to the other side and kind of mixed in between those shades to blend. So I'm going to show that one more time. We're going to put on the primer, then I'm going to take Fleeky right in the center of the lid, then I'm tapping Hissy Fit on the outer third of the lid next to Fleeky. And then I'm taking Biddy on the outer corner of the lid, on the inside and outside. And with a wet brush, I'm intensifying that Fleeky shade in the middle and then blending the colors all together with the same brush. Next, I'm taking that Raga Muffin shade and I am redefining the crease of the eye. So this was the darkest crease shade that we used, and I'm just using that dense packing brush again. And then I'm going to blend out those edges to make sure everything looks seamless. And I've had this sitting in my room and I just wanted to try just like the tiniest little bit. I took the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Moonlight and I mixed this with my foundation. I did just one little drop there in my foundation and put that on my face. So I just like to tap a little bit of foundation and then I blend it in with my beauty sponge. I'm using the Real Technique beauty sponge. It is my favorite. I have a million of them sitting around my room. And then I'm taking the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer again to highlight and conceal under my eyes, down the center of my nose, in between my brows, on my chin, and then I run it really close down the sides of my nose to help contour, and then on the tip of the lip and around the nostrils. I am taking my same sponge and I'm blending that all out. Make sure you blend that out. You don't want to have any crazy edges or anything like that, especially if you're using a lighter shade like I am. I like to buff it in and then I'll flip my sponge around on the side where I did my foundation to buff in where the foundation and concealer meet. For a nose contour, I'm taking the LA Pro Conceal Concealer in the shade Medium Beige, and I'm just throwing that on the sides of the nose and blending that in. To set that concealer, I'm taking my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the shade Transparent, and I'm just going to apply that with my same beauty sponge. I like to keep things easy. I normally don't use this powder under my eyes, however, I was about to go to sleep, so I didn't want to waste, and I put way too much in between my brows. So then I'm going to set the rest of my face with my Laura Geller powder. This is like the Balance and Brighten foundation, I believe. Beautiful powder, very skin-like. It's my favorite. And I'm going to dust away that bake that we did. And this basically is going to give extra coverage and it's going to extra highlight your face. Just make sure you dust all that extra stuff off. I'm taking the Anastasia contour kit and taking this middle shade. I believe it's in the shade Fawn. And I haven't contoured in a while, so I did want to show you guys a little bit more of what I kind of do. I'm taking a Morphe contour brush. I will list it in the description as well. And yeah, this is just a cool tone shade that's going to help sculpt our face. It's summertime, so I've been more so just bronzing, but I was feeling a little contour today. Yes, hunty, work. It'll be a nightmare for me if I forget to freaking contour my double chin, so I hit that thing up. Then I'm taking the Too Faced Little Black Book of Bronzers, and I'm mixing a lighter and a darker bronzer to make my best shade. And I'm just going to warm up the face with this right on top of the contour that we did to help blend it in. Obviously, taking the Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Collection Face Palette, and I'm taking Amaretto as my blush today and popping this on my cheeks. This is a gorgeous blush. It was actually the first time I used it. The last time I used it on my channel, I used it as an eyeshadow, but today I was using it on the cheeks, and I love it. And then I took the tiniest amount of our Cover FX drop, just added the tiniest amount right on the tops of my cheekbones, just as a little base. I just wanted to kind of stick my toes in the water with this guy. It is very pigmented, and I was kind of scared of it at first because I thought it wasn't going to blend out on top of the powder. But I did put my Becca Jaclyn Hill face palette, so I have the Champagne Pop and Prosecco Pop right on top. And girl, we are glowy. That is so pretty. And I'm just going to put that on the tip of the nose, down the bridge of my nose with a little brush. And, nope, not done yet. Okay. And on the Cupid's bow, I have little lips, so I put a crap ton of highlight So I'm basically replicating what's on the top lid onto the bottom. So I'm taking Priss Pot as our transition shade and buffing that under there. And then adding Mama Bird to deepen it up. And then on the outer third, I'm taking Raga Muffin. I'm going to tap that in with a dense packing brush to pack on some more color. And I did decide not to highlight my inner corners. I never do that. Really weird. Next up, I highlighted the center of the bottom lash line with Fleeky, and I did use a wet brush for the bottom lash line on the metallic shadows. And then I took the Hissy Fit shade and just put that right on the outer edges of that Fleeky shade. And then on the outer third of the lower lash line, I added Biddy, which is our darkest metallic shade, to add depth. And then again, just like we did on the top lash line, I am blending that all in. I'm again adding more of Raga Muffin on the inner and outer corners just to make sure we're nice and defined with that matte shade. And then I took this NYX gold liner in my waterline. I can never show this because I look like a freaking exorcist, but I did add that in. And then I did decide to add some black gel liner in my eyes. This is the Wet n Wild Fergie gel liner, the only thing that I use in my waterline pretty much. But I did think it looked a little too black, so I ended up actually adding a darker metallic, like bronzy eyeliner from NYX in just to kind of tone it down. I'm adding some mascara. I always use the same. It is the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara, and the lashes that I added on off camera are the Cocoa Lashes in the style Queen Bee, one of my favorite lashes. They are so dramatic. Now I'm setting my whole face with the Urban Decay Chill Makeup Setting Spray. I'm getting low on my Max Fix Plus, so I did not want to waste. And yeah, we're still going. As you can tell, I use a lot of setting spray. And for lips, I'm taking Coquette by Lime Crime. This packaging is gorgeous. And I'm just adding this to my lips. It ended up being a little bit more like pale than I wanted it to be. So I ended up adding some Melted Nude from Too Faced onto the more outer corners of the lips. And then to add a little bit of gloss, I'm taking this Stila gloss. I will list it in the description. Been using it all summer long. And I almost forgot to do my bake beard. So I tapped some of that Airspun powder underneath my contour and just let that powder sit and then dusted it away, and it revealed our sharp contour. I love doing that. And just fix your little space buns. And yes, so this is what it looks like with a nude lipstick. A lot more fresh, but I did want to go darker, and I thought I was recording, but I wasn't at the very beginning. But this is Chilly Chill by ColourPop. Love ColourPop liquid lipsticks. So yeah, this is what it looks like with a darker lip. I love the dark lips because I am ready for fall. I am so tired of sweating. Which one do you guys like, the nude or dark? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it, and please don't forget to enter to win my giveaway. I'm giving away one of the Becca Champagne Collection face palettes. This is a collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. This is also limited edition and is not coming back. They are completely sold out. I do have one sitting in my room for one of my special subscribers, so please be sure to check the description box to find out all the details on how you can enter to win the giveaway. But I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.
I'm about to catch your body, baby. Oh yeah, it's going down. I'm about to catch your body. Oh yeah, no stopping now. I'm about to catch your body. You work that day like a 9 to 5. Who your name is? Where you from? Turn around. Who you came with?
What is this purple?
Let's take some earring in the tongue, and she know what you do with it.
What you want? Do you want a missionary with your foot crammed? Do you want it from the back with your face in the pillow so you can yell aloud? Do you want it on the floor? Do you want it on the chair? Do you want it over here? Do you want it over there? Do you want it in your pussy? Do you want it in your hair? Anything you can have it.
Hey guys, what's up? So today what's up, guys? Really? She has teamed. Really, you're gonna itch your ear while you do stuff.